You are now tuned in to DAR Sports Media. We continue with NFL divisional previews. Tonight it's just the dynamic duo here with me and Tay's Takes here, breaking down the NFC South for you. We're all waiting on bated breath, seeing what happens with this Brandon Ayuk situation over there on the West Coast, but everyone is taking their sweet ass time. So we went ahead and we're going to go ahead and go with the NFC South tonight. Tay, I think we kind of dug into this a little bit before, and it just more and more. You know, it was funny the other night watching Hard Knocks. I watched the whole thing, and draft night. You know, they're showing the Giants, and the Giants are going. It just shows them how they. And this was fucking fascinating to watch. But on draft night, they're going over every single scenario. Like, okay, if this team moves up and does this, then we're going to do this. If this team does this, then we're going to do this. If a team takes this person, they're going to do this. They go over about 12 scenarios, and not fucking one of them had the Falcons taking Michael Penix. That's just no way that was going to happen. So what I'm about to say, you know, it's just another thing that makes it frustrating to me, because I have them number one with a bullet this year in the NFC South. I think that they're pretty easily a 10 or 11 win team when you consider the fact that they were competitive last year with a fucking anchor at quarterback and an anchor at coach who was on the fucking Bripple, who was freebasing fucking crack before every fucking game, doing the most ridiculous shit in the world. I don't know how much better, but it isn't going to be spitefully bad on offense this year. And then, you know, your upgrade at quarterback with Kirk Cousins. I know there's a lot of divisiveness on him. I think he's kind of been disrespected the last couple of years. He's been damn good. Of course, he had a great supporting cast, good play caller in Kevin O'Connell, but still, I mean, how many years are we going to say, yeah, but with Kirk Cousins and production? The dude has produced over and over and over in his career, and there's always all these excuses as to why he's producing. Maybe he's just decent, you know. Hey, so you're going to at least, I'd say, a top 15 quarterback away from possibly the worst starting quarterback situation last year, and then they were still competitive, and that was without using Bijan properly, without using Kyle Pitts properly. I think the sky's the limit, and it just irritates me even fucking more that they didn't add to their secondary, didn't add to their pass rush, didn't add a player who could help, didn't add Rome Odunze. How fucking crazy would this offense be then if you had London on one side, Odunze on the other, tight end in the middle, Bijan in the backfield? I mean, that's a titan of an offense, you know. But Michael Penix it is. I still think this is a pretty. I think health, of course, 10 or 11 win season. Hey, who do you got number one in the NFC South?
I agree with you. I have the Falcons. Division, I think it's the weakest in the NFL. We saw that last year, but yeah, I like how they spent money on Kirk Cousins. You know, they got Bijan. They spent high draft capital on Bijan, high draft capital on Drake London, high draft capital on Kyle Pitts. I mean, it's been every year. You know, they pulled the trigger on these skill position guys, and hasn't been put together yet. You know, we've seen a little bit of Kyle Pitts, we've seen some of Bijan, some of Drake London, but I think this year, you know, new play caller, the offense is going to look different. They got a new quarterback. I mean, everything is going to look completely different. I was a fan of the Falcons offseason. Defense, though, I was kind of surprised with them taking Penix at 8, I believe it was. It was a lot of things they could have done there. They could have went corner. They could have got another pass rusher. You know what I mean? Like they could have did something else elsewhere. But I mean, we'll see.
Just so anybody's wondering, there's not a ton of info, but the offensive coordinator is Zach Robinson. He came over with Raheem Morris from the Rams coaching staff. Raheem Morris was the defensive coordinator. Zach Robinson was the passing game coordinator, assistant quarterback coach, assistant offense. So a lot of quality control, a lot of positional stuff. He's going to be the play caller there. So I would expect something somewhat similar to what the Rams had going on, which huge production across the board. And again,
Yeah.
this is might be a sneaky year. You might be able to get some value. A lot of people got burnt by that Bijan Robinson top 5 pick last year in the fantasy drafts. You might be able to get him at 7, 8, 9, and that could be a huge pick this year, because I do not see a guy coming over from the Rams shying away from using that level of talent of a player. Who do you got second, Tay?
I'm stuck on 2 teams, but I'm going with the Panthers. I'm going with the Panthers. I mean, I don't think they'll be good. Like, I think it'll be the Falcons, and it's just gonna be a big gap, from the second team going down forward. But yeah, I like what the Falcons did. They still had the number 1 pick on their team from last season. They added at running back, something that they needed. They completely revamped the O-line. They spent all their money on the O-line, just protecting your quarterback. They drafted Xavier Legette to give him another weapon. They traded for Deontay Johnson. They still have Adam Thielen. So I like the offense. If Bryce Young is decent, this team should win 7 games. I really do like the offense. I like what they did. They put a lot of effort.
You think 7 games?
Making the situation better for Bryce Young because it wasn't good.
You think 7 wins is going to get it done? Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. You really don't like this division.
It's 7, 8. That's it. I mean, 7. That was second place last year.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just the division is just not that. I mean, it could be a tie. But I'm going to give them about 7 or 8 wins. They'll be very competitive. They'll beat some teams they don't belong beating. But yeah, the offense is definitely a lot better than the defense. I say that. The defense, they have J.C. Horn. Hopefully he can stay healthy. I would like to see a full season of him.
2 starting safeties, 2 starting edges, one of the best edges in the league, in Brian Burns. The defense is going to have a hard time this season. But I do agree. I don't think I agree that they're going to be second place. I think they're still going to be closer to last, but it's going to look a hell of a lot better this year. I think it's going to be a lot more scrappier 6 wins. I love, like I said, I too, along with you, I want to give them credit. They did everything that they could this offseason. I will say that. And that's very rare that you can say that about a team, is that they went out and everybody who could help them, they either tried or got. So hell of a job, addressing the offensive line, especially for your young quarterback, your wee one, Bryce Young back there. I also like the pick of Jonathan Brooks, add another weapon in the backfield, try and take some pressure off of that guy. So I think it's going to be a hopeful season, but I don't know if it's it's still, that defense just really, really concerns me, especially, when you're looking at the Panthers twice, or not the Panthers, when you're looking at the Falcons twice, when you're looking at the Bucks twice with Baker Mayfield resurgent. But I do want to commend them for what they did. And I think it's going to be a competitive 6 to 7 wins. I have the Saints in second place. I know, right? You're giving me that look because you're so mortified by the thought of having to be behind Derek Carr, I guess. But man, I just fucking love their draft so much. You want to talk about, again, a team that was already, was in a lot of games last year, and then they had just a fucking phenomenal draft, somehow managing to snag Kool-Aid McKinstry, who had a lot of people who had very near the top of the corner rankings, somehow being able to snag him in the second round. Talisi Fuaga, one of the best offensive line prospects, probably going to be a plug and play top level player on an offensive line that was already fucking good. You know how I love my offensive lines and how much of a key that is. Not a ton of key subtractions from a team that was already pretty damn competitive. Marcus May, safety, but you can replace the safety. Another player they added, there's health concerns, there's production concerns, but a lot of people forget they also added Chase Young. to what was already a pretty strong defense. So you add Chase Young, you add Kool-Aid McKinstry to a defense that was already pretty damn solid, along with the rest of the veterans that they have. I really like this Saints team for 9 games, for 9 wins, pushing 10. Obviously, they go as Derek Carr goes, and if things go poorly like they did last year, we could be in a lot different place. But even then, I think, it'd be pretty damn interesting to see Spencer Rattler maybe with some maturity, some years, and behind that type of an offensive line, and with a guy like Chris Olave getting open and making catches, doing his damn thing. I think that would be interesting to see at some point in the season if Derek Carr is that bad again. What are your take on the Saints?
I have the Saints. Where do I have the Saints? I have the Saints in the last. I don't see it in the Saints. Like, they had a good draft. I'll give them that. They had a good draft, but I don't know, man. Derek Carr is just, you're very limited when you have a guy like Derek Carr. Derek Carr is probably the most scared quarterback in the league. Doesn't throw any risky passes, not aggressive at all. I mean, he's always been like that. And I don't know, man. I feel like you need some kind of aggression out of your quarterback, to win tough games. Like, I don't know. It's solely because of Derek Carr. Like, the offense is all right. The O-line, they tried to improve it. It'll be all right. It'll be okay. But I don't know, man. I just don't see it. Like, the receiving core, not a fan. Running back room, not a fan.
What?
I don't know. I'm not.
You don't like Chris Olave? You don't like Kamara and Jamal Williams?
I like. Jamal Williams is 29. Jamal Williams is only good for. He's only good for a 4th and 2. That's about it. Like, Jamal Williams isn't coming in, giving you 15, 18 carries. Like, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of the offense. Like, it's just Chris Olave, if anything. Rashid Shaheed is a one-trick pony. Then outside of that, they have nothing. A.T. Perry, he'll get some burn like he did last year. But I don't know. I'm not a fan of this offense. And you got a guy like Derek Carr. Derek Carr isn't elevating any players. So yeah, I'm just, I don't see it. I don't see it with the offense. I know the defense will come to play. I do know that. I believe in the defense a lot more than the offense. Defense is pretty much the same guys as last year. They added Kool-Aid. They got Marshawn Lattimore. Tyrann
So
Matthew.
are you expecting nothing from Chase Young?
I know who Chase Young is. He's good. He's good. He got the contract he did for a reason. He's been on 3 teams in 12 months for a reason. He's good. Like, at this point, he might just be a rotational pass rusher. It's sad to say that, but like, this is the prove it year right here. Chase Young might be just a rotational. Put him in on 3rd down, 3rd and 8, you throw him in the game. He just might be that. Maybe it was the injuries. I don't know. But
I will say, the hype coming out of college and then the hype after his rookie year, you would have expected when he went on to the Niners and was on the other side of Nick Bosa, you would have expected more. You would have expected more production. Yeah.
Right.
So,
yeah.
I'm not mad about it. So, yeah, go ahead.
I don't know, man. It's just Saints don't have that guy on the team. Like, they don't have that guy you look at and it's like, okay, I don't know. I just don't see it. They don't have any names to me that are eye popping.
Well,
like,
they're gonna. So you don't fuck with Kamara at all, then, huh?
He's in the back end of his career. Like, don't get me wrong, he is good, but he's just in the back end of his career at this point. Like, you can't run between the tackles with him. That's not his game. And then Jamal Williams, you can do it, but like, are you trusting that? Then they got.
I think that Chris Olave by the end of this season is going to be a guy. Is going to be a name because he was fucking sick with it last year.
Yeah, that's that's all the team has. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's just not enough for me to put them second in the division. Like, the whole roster needs a lot of work. Then they're getting old, especially like they still have Cameron Jordan on the team. I mean, Cameron Jordan was good,
and he's still productive
at times. Like, I don't know, he's
gonna
in
be even
year
better.
15.
Chase Young on the other side, baby.
Like, it's reliant on stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. I'm just not high on it. Like, in the D tackle position is just non-existent.
Yeah, true that.
Demario Davis is one of the best linebackers in the league, and even
Yes,
at age
sir.
35. I will give him that. Like, no doubt about it. But I do like Pete Werner as well. But I don't know, man. Corner is one of their strong suits now that they got Kool-Aid. They have Marshawn Lattimore and Kool-Aid, and Alontae Taylor.
I don't know, man. You're naming a lot of players that you like.
It's
after saying they got no players
right.
and they're not going to be second place.
I hate the offense. I hate the offense.
I got you. That brings us to: do you like it better with Spencer Rattler, possibly?
That's interesting. It's interesting, but I still don't like I don't like it. It'll go from hate to don't like. If it is,
that brings us to, and it's funny because they're so unassuming. Really, no splash plays this offseason, and they just don't. They're just very unsexy. But damn, the last year's division champs, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who were last seen laying a ass whooping on the Philadelphia Eagles for what it's worth, who everybody thought was the super ultra fucking mega team last year. They brought the majority of their producers back, added a couple of new starters to the offensive line that makes it even better, that made strides last year. So this is going to be a real top 10 offensive line. Mayfield resurged last year. We'll see if we can get a second year out of that. Rashad White finally cashed in on his potential that a lot of us have been waiting on. Mike Evans is steady as they go. So you got them third, I guess, right? I guess we both have them third because I have the Panthers last. In which is interesting because they won the division, busted the ass out of the Eagles in the playoffs, didn't really lose any top producers. They're just so unassuming. And I think both of us, I got them. If they're going to be third, and I got the Saints getting 9 wins, and second, I guess that would mean that the Bucks got to get 8. It's interesting. Because they're just such an unassuming, nothing really pops out. But damn, they performed really well last year, and then made the offensive line better. So maybe we're sleeping on them a little bit. What do you think? What do you think of the Buccaneers?
I'll stay asleep. Honestly, the Bucs season was interesting. Like, you look at it, they beat the Eagles in the playoffs. Right. They play very well, but I think they lucked up. Honestly, like they were at last year at one point. I'm looking at it right now. They were 4-7. Then they got the Panthers, and then they got the Falcons. They did have a good win against the Packers and the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars did not have Trevor Lawrence that game.
Well, that was when and again, they caught a couple teams when they were in a fucking free fall.
Yeah,
the Jaguars, the Eagles.
Mm-hmm. So I think they lucked up at the right. They hit the easiest part of the schedule to give them a boost. And in week 18, they had the Panthers. They beat them 9-0. Like, they needed that win. I remember that because I think
I remember that too.
Like they needed that, and they lucked up. They got the worst team in the league. Which that's how it goes.
And they only beat them 9-0 in a game they needed.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They didn't really have any impressive wins to me last season. I don't think they're all that good.
And the division, I think we both feel like every team in the division got better as well.
You can say that. No, actually, I'm gonna say no with the Bucks. The Bucks lost their play caller, and I do think that would hurt.
Well, no, what I'm saying is you're talking about how they got to a soft part of the schedule. They got there, right? They were playing in the shitty, awful division last year, but I think, right, they only beat the worst team 9-0. They did all this stuff. They didn't have a great record, and then everybody else in the division got better this offseason.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of those games are not going to be walkovers the way they were.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Like the Bucks pretty much brought everyone back. Honestly, they brought everyone back, re-signed everyone. They just want to run it back, see what they got. But I don't know. They're in
because I don't know. Do you have faith in them to beat any of these teams twice? I don't.
No, not twice. They can beat everyone, not twice. Though.
Yes, but I don't think they're going to beat them twice. Yeah, no. So, yeah, maybe the luck turns around this year. Maybe they're the team that gets caught in the wrong time coming through. Yeah. Who is your NFC South MVP?
I was thinking about this earlier, but I gotta go with Bryce Young.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I wanted to say Bijan, but I gotta go Bryce Young because the bus radar it's flashing right now for him.
It looked fucking bad last year.
Yeah.
All excuses, all considerations. There was a coaching change in the middle of the year. The offensive line was one of the 3 worst offensive lines in the league. Like, we get it, but it looked fucking bad last year.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Bryce Young. If I got the Panthers being second in the division, you gotta have some faith in Bryce Young. Like I don't think Bryce Young would be bad, and this team will have the the second seed in their division. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Bryce Young. I do think Bryce Young will have a good season, and he'll brush the bus takes off of him. I think he just was in a horrible situation. Bad team, bad receivers, bad line, no run game, no nothing. Play calling was bad. They were running bubble screens 8 times a game. Like I don't know, man. It was just all bad, and I don't think Bryce Young was the main problem with that. So I got a complete 180 for Bryce Young. So Bryce Young is my MVP.
Damn, I'm just looking through. The Falcons added Darnell Mooney and Rondale Moore too. God,
yeah,
it's gonna be a fast fucking team. Jesus fucking Christ. So, on offense, it's gonna be a bunch of fucking. You might as well put a bunch of posts out there on defense, but because at least they get in the way. I'm going. You almost took mine. I'm going Bijan. I think Bijan Robinson is gonna go fucking crazy this year with that offensive system. With a quarterback, you aren't going to be able to stack the box against him. They're going to actually use him and use all of his talents in a multifaceted way. I think Bijan, I think he could end up being the number 1 fantasy player in football this year.
Yeah.
I think Bijan Robinson's going to have a huge fucking season, especially early. They're going to ease Kirk in on that Achilles. Utilize those young legs, utilize what they took a fucking running back in the top 10 to not use him is the craziest fucking thing last year, man. Use that guy for what he is, a fucking 5-star diamond. You took him in the top 10 for a fucking reason. Well, 1, because you're fucking dumb, but 2, because he is that caliber of a player. He could be that kind of a difference maker. He could be one of those guys we're talking about in the top 5 running backs in the league. Absolutely. I think it's going to be Bijan Robinson. Who is going to be your rookie of the year, NFC South?
Got to stick with the Panthers and go with Xavier Legette.
Oh my goodness!
I had to.
Did Sean D sneak in on this podcast? This was him last year.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's a completely new team. Like, they're kind of giving me Texans vibes. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. I'm a big fan of Xavier Legette out of South Carolina. Played with division rival Spencer Rattler. A 6'3", 230, one of the fastest guys on this team. Like just a physical specimen on the field. Like you can't miss him on the field. Like when you watch him, you're like, man, who is that? Who's number 17? Like he's one of them kind of players. And I don't know. I just think this is exactly what they needed. You got Deontay Johnson. You got the guy that can win every route. You know, I mean, probably he'll play a lot of slot. But Xavier Legette, you know, he'll take the top off the defense. You can give him a jet sweep. You know, you can really play him anywhere. And I really do think Xavier Legette is going to have a great season. Like, I could see 1,000 yards this season.
So, you know, we all know where I go sometimes with this. Since, and, you know, there isn't really a pop off the page one. I agree with you on Legette. I think he's going to perform real well. And if he ends up in 1,000 yards, then it's him easy. I am going with center Graham Barton for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. One of the better center prospects we've seen in years. He started a ton of games at left tackle for Duke. You're kicking that guy into center with all that athleticism, with all that blocking ability, at a team that has a shot. You know, we were just talking about how it wasn't that sexy, but like, great offensive line. He's going to be one of the key parts of it. And then this team does have a shot. You know, the variance is very high here. 1 or 2 games here and there. He could figure in to be a leader, a key cog in possibly the best offensive line in the division. And then they could also win this division. So for me, that is a good chance of the rookie of the year for the NFC South. Graham Barton, Tampa Bay Buccaneers center. We got a ton of stuff going on here at DAR Sports Media. True has a new album coming out very, very soon. Pay attention to the socials for that. We had a ton of articles, especially from our guy, Ken Moore, out there in scouting circles, NBA season previews. We had a ton of stuff going on the Medium site. Articles being written by all of the guys, a bunch of new cats that we just added to the gang a couple weeks ago. So absolutely be checking out the Medium site, be watching the socials, follow DAR Sports Media, follow True God, follow all of us. So you get all the stuff we all repost. We all put the stuff out there. True has a music album going out. If you prefer the late 90s, early 2000s style of rap, it is that, and it is fantastic. We got, of course, the football show. We have Weekend Wrestling, another one coming up. It's a big weekend wrestling, man. Crazy Monday Night Raw this week. SummerSlam, a lot of stuff happened. We'll have a lot of talk about, on Week in Wrestling. And of course, me, Tay, Axe, we got the college football show coming up real soon in the next couple of weeks as that AP Top 25 comes out. We also have on deck, possibly as soon as we get the schedules linked up, we wanted to not leave you guys with nothing for basketball side of things. So we might be doing some nostalgia hours on basketball where we finally, instead of getting sidetracked into the Ben Wallace debate, we're going to have the great Ben Wallace debate and things of that nature coming up on the basketball side as soon as we can sync up the schedules to make that happen for you guys. Retro Hour NBA coming up real soon. As you can see from all of the many, many things I just named, the world of DAR never stops.
Niggas steady talking, but they can't, man. 8 chests in its form on the same thing. 20 years in, rolling with the same gang. You can say what you want, niggas ain't changed. Niggas ain't changed, 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 niggas ain't changed.
I let it get too far, bearing their cross like Knights Templar. For my children, I'm the exemplar. Gem star, twinkle in my kids' eyes, it makes me want to cry. Self-prophecy, not accepting mediocrity. Socrates was a thief, shame on the democracy. Dealing with enough, let alone the cops blocking me. Anything else is obsolete. Forsake Pete, I will defeat all that lays at my feet. Keep the biz discreet. $1,000 vacation homes with expensive feasts. Some niggas say they friends but lie through their teeth. Loose lips, pillow talking and shit. Getting themselves in the mix, plotting on your chick. But I ain't changed a bit. I'm as real as it gets. Still pounding my fist. Shock Sports is a hit. All my time in the grid. DAR Media, we send it a blitz. Fuck all the glamour and glitz, yeah.
Niggas steady talking, but they can't, man. 8 chests in its form on the same thing. 20 years in, rolling with the same gang. You can say what you want, niggas ain't changed. Niggas ain't changed, niggas ain't changed. Niggas ain't changed, niggas ain't changed. Niggas Niggas ain't changed, niggas ain't changed. Niggas ain't changed, niggas ain't changed. Flow master, dope habits, rope couplets, flow patterns. Justin Jefferson with catches, you can see the toe dragging. Old spasms, old fashions, Pelly, old classics, old Bama, roll tide, but I ain't doing no passing. Got these people claiming gangster, no you ain't that dog. Even producers turning shaky, yeah you ain't that dog. Niggas is bitch made pussy, yeah you ain't that dog. But I seen this shit coming, trust me, let me think back dog. They tell me that karma's a bitch and how it came back dog. I supported all of them artists when they ain't back, y'all. See, it's funny, this industry, you couldn't change that, dog. So when I see them play their tactics, I just aim that, dog. Cause these niggas ain't been that honest, but no loyalty. I said we needed royalties, and motherfuckers went and looked astonished. This is candid, but it's random. If you think of show and promise, cause they hate you if you asking questions before moving onward. These MCs are in it only now for opportunities. Place missing checks, a tagline that done influenced them. But see, this is obvious, and even now no unity in fighting black men not of the same community. Damn, now who we are? Not real ones, I see it clear. Niggas steady talking, but they can't, man. 8 chests in its form on the same thing. 20 years in, rolling with the same gang. You can say what you want, niggas ain't changed. Niggas ain't changed, 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 niggas ain't changed. Niggas steady talking, but they can't, man. 8 chests in its form on the same thing. 20 years in, rolling with the same gang. You can say what you want, niggas ain't changed. Niggas ain't changed, 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 niggas ain't changed.